Hello, and welcome to this webinar on social media awareness as part of the Office of Cybersecurity and Information Assurance virtual CYBERISLE. My name is Gavin Quiggin. I've been Head of Operational Resilience and Technology Risk at Nedbank Private Wealth International for the last 6 months, and I've previously worked in roles around cybersecurity, fraud and privacy for a number of years. I'm an ISO 27001 security lead auditor, GDPR practitioner, and I'm also a business continuity professional. So social media, it's a part of most of our lives these days. It's been around for a number of years now, and there are various platforms and applications out there from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. It often gets bad press, but it can be a very useful tool and very positive for our lives and how we use it. Now I want to start off with some general awareness. First off, social media has an age limit. Not everybody knows this, but it's 13 years of age for using any form of social media. So it is important for parents and for teachers to make sure that they are aware if they have younger children that they're not using social media. But once people start using it, think about what you want from it, how you want to use social media. There are various platforms there, and it might be that one's different from another for your particular individual uses. Now think about the information that you're putting on those sites and those applications, because it might not be private. Very important is to read the privacy notices and the guidance, etc., and the settings of those applications to make sure you know exactly where your information is being viewed and by who. And key to that is only sharing with trusted people. So make sure that the people on your friends list or in your social media networks, you definitely know who they are. And I would advise on checking again if you receive a request to make sure that that person is who you expect it to be. It's not difficult. Have a look at their profile, have a quick look at their pictures that might be available, have a look at their friends list, see maybe who's mutual friends or who you work with, etc. And once you're confident, and only then when you're confident, accept that request. Never post personal information. This can be the likes of your phone number, your address, or even your full name. The less information that you post, the more secure your privacy will be. Parents and teachers really need to be aware of what children are doing on social media. Talk to them and make sure they understand how to use it safely. It's absolutely key to a safe environment. Think about your digital footprint. This is basically anything you post online and obviously on these social media applications that could be there for a long time, 10+ years maybe, and maybe who you are when you were younger or thoughts you might have. Somebody could look back on them in years to come and maybe form an opinion of you that might not be correct. So think about that. Think about how that will look in your future if there's something there on social media. Learn how to use social media tools. There are a lot of different applications out there now that can really enrich the experience of social media. But to do some research, make sure that those tools are appropriate to what you want to do. So security and privacy. Now, some of these points that I'll talk about here, these can apply to everything from email usage, internet usage, systems at work, and then right through to social media. So use complex passwords. The vast majority of sites or different applications that we use now, they do have a policy of forcing you into a complex password situation. But make sure that it's something that complex enough so that it can't be compromised, but also have a method of a way of remembering that password. It could be the initials from a line, from some song lyrics, to something that you use as multiple words that you remember within your life. But don't reuse a password. It's quite important. In days gone by, people would have one password for everything. Now, let's say that your Facebook account becomes compromised. that password could then be used to do further compromises on other logins that you may have. So think about maybe putting a different word in front of each password, or maybe behind. But again, make it complex, but easy enough, and have a system where you can remember that. Use extra security where it's available. These days, there's two-factor authentication that's available on many sites and many applications. This is basically like a double lock. So you might have a standard lock on a door, and then you might have a bolt. That's exactly what two-factor authentication is. And they come in various forms. It might be a code generated by Facebook, a text message sent by your bank. But again, use those systems where they're available. Make sure portable devices are secure. Again, these days there are various different ways of doing this. It might be a PIN, maybe go for a longer PIN, maybe 6 digits, or facial recognition, or the various other ways that you can do it. But that's important because, as you'll know, once you're into your device, a lot of things like social media can be accessed very easily. Only post information about others if they've approved it. So this could be your friends, your colleagues, etc. Some people don't like to have their information posted on Facebook. It might be that it's not something they want everybody to see. It might be something you find funny, but they don't. So it's important to just double check with people before you link them to any posts or pictures about them. And talking of pictures and videos, be extra vigilant. There could be people in the background of photos or videos that they don't want to be on social media, and just be aware of that, and have a review of the video or the pictures before you post them. Now, when you're on social media, it's important, like with any content on your mobile device or laptop, etc., who is around you when you're looking at that information. You might be on a bus, you might not think anything of it, but the person behind you might just be taking snippets of your information. They could be a cyber criminal, and they could start to use the various bits of information that they collect, and that can lead to anything from a cyber attack through to ID theft, etc. Pause before you post. Think about it. Is that what I want my friends or other people to see about me or my friends, etc.? So social media in business can be a real positive thing for businesses, but it's important that you have controls in place around how it's used. So really, first thing is have a social media policy, and this needs to detail what can and can't be posted, what type of content you're going to put there, what sort of messages, maybe replies to posts about your business. And one of the easiest ways to deal with this is to have approved social media moderators. They quite often might be in marketing, or they might be senior members of staff who've been trained in the use, and therefore that makes the whole business social media experience really a much more positive thing. Even if there's been negative comments, you can then get onto the social media platform and maybe help someone out before it gets to more of a problem for your business. Train all your staff though, even if they're not an approved moderator. Make sure that people know that they shouldn't be posting anything about clients or anything other than that he thinks inappropriate to use on social media for your business. Be aware of the various security risks. These apply on social media just like they do with email and internet traffic as well. So there's things like malicious apps or social scams or phishing attacks where somebody posts something on social media and says click here and do X, Y, and Z. You've got to understand that those risks are there, and make sure that all your staff members are aware of that. Pay attention to your social media presence. As I say, it's not all negative, but you want to know what people are saying, whether it be reviews, general comments. Think about your overall strategy on social media and how you can use it to benefit your business. Social media can be a fabulous marketing tool. There are businesses all over the world that have started small, maybe on Facebook or one of the other sites, and they've gone on to be a very successful business by using social media in the most appropriate way. So some key points for you to take away. Used correctly, social media can be a very useful part of our lives. It can provide us with information from weather, news. It can put it all into that one area. But it can also be really important, especially at the moment where we might not be seeing family and friends. And we can post the pictures of various activities that we're doing, and family and friends can then view them. But obviously, as I say, make sure it's appropriate. Be aware of the security and privacy risks. Think about what you're putting up there. Is there information that maybe helps a criminal in some way? This can be anything from I'm on holiday, therefore my house is now empty. It can be something as simple as I'm attending a conference, and maybe that bit of information helps somebody, a criminal, to use it in some illegal way. Use additional security methods wherever possible. I've talked about two-factor authentication. There may be other security methods that you can use to lock down your devices. Do that little bit of simple research. Doesn't take long. It's not as complicated as it sounds, and overall it can secure your information, which can be very valuable to a criminal. Now, train children, students, and staff. If we start with our children and teachers at school, and then right up to staff members at work. But of course, the younger we're able to train children on the appropriate use of social media, the better. And then, of course, as children move through life, they'll understand the benefits and how to use it safely. Last of all, think before you post. I can't say it enough. It sounds like a simple thing, but just take those few seconds to have a look at what I'm posting. Is it appropriate? Do I want the world to see this, or my friends to see this? And therefore you'll make it a much richer and safer environment for you to use social media. That's all from me. Take care and stay safe in the virtual world.